All right, on today's episode of The Grid, we're talking about how to make better photos of people. The Kuna Man, he's out. He's out gallivanting at a workshop out west, so he will not be here today, but we've got some amazing guests that will be joining us, and we're all talking about how to make better people photos. And let's see what else. We got some good giveaways. We got some news. We got all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a fine day, a fine day. And when does it start? In just 13.6 seconds. Let's go!
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Episode 700. We are at the 700th episode of The Grid. Hard to believe it's been going on for so many years, and yet they still let us do it. Anyway, glad to have you guys here. Welcome. Oh my gosh, we've got an amazing show for you today. Like we said, we're going to be talking about how to make better shots of people, and we have some wonderful guests that'll be joining us via Skype. We've got Dixie Dixon, who is an icon in the fashion photography industry. We've got Joe Edelman, who is an incredible portrait and fashion-esque photographer. He does a lot of different stuff and does it amazingly well. And we'll also have Ibarionex Perello. So Ibarionex has done classes for us on street photography and stuff, but he's a terrific instructor, and he's great at photographing people on the street, and today's all about that. So that's what we're doing today. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have a few things to share with you. Let me go through the prizes real quick first of what we're giving away today. We're giving away the Platypod Mag Deluxe set. So that's that thing right there, which is uses the MagSafe thing on the back of your magnetic dealie on the back of your iPhone to basically become a support like your little tripod, and it's really quite nice. We're giving one of those away today. We're going to give away a actual print copy of my new iPhone photography book. The second edition is finally out, and oh look, Amazon, they finally have it in stock there. Oh no, it's still needed another week, but that's okay. We have them right here. In fact, I got one right over here. So we have one, and they're in print, and we're going to send it to you. And then we're also giving away the night photography book, that's not what I'm holding. I don't know why I'm holding this. I'm holding the natural light photography book. Apparently, we're giving away this as well. The the natural light portrait book. All right, weird statistic about this book. This book is selling insane numbers in China. It's outselling the American version of this, the English version, because it's translated into many different languages. It's outselling it like 25-1. So a reviewer in China did a half-an-hour review about this book. Thank you. It just took off. You can win one today. Mr. Kuna's night photography book, we're giving that away, and we're giving out the On One No Noise AI book. All of that today. Lots of good stuff to give away on episode 777. 100. Yes, it's a long time. 700 episodes. Anyway, all right. So I do have a little bit of news. Let me get my thing set up here because I have to show you something pretty awesome. I gotta find it. I had it right here, and now it's not here. So hold on. Maybe this is it. Aha. I found it. All right. I have to get my screen all configurated and everything. And then, all right. So I have to tell you the story, and then I'll show you the thing. So, some of you may know, right? We have... Thanks. Some of you may know that we have multiple tiers at KelbyOne. So the main tier that almost everybody is in is called the KelbyOne Pro Plan, and that's you get access to all the classes. We come up with a new class every week and all that, right? But then there are some people that have been asking, we want more of a mentoring, coaching thing where it's, we're dealing directly with you and all that. So a few years ago, we created the KelbyOne VIP. And it was a huge success, and all kinds of people joined it. Well, at the end of the first year, we didn't want to just redo it again. So we created a new tier called the Inner Circle. And that was a harder, more challenging tier where people get an assignment every month, and then we review every single assignment in front of everybody. And it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Well, after that, they were like, well, what do we do now? So we created our final and third year, which is called the Master of Photography program, which is they have to do a project that takes them the entire year. And at the end of the year, they're going to present this project as a book, as a calendar, as a gallery showing, as something at the end of the year. Well, those folks that are in the Masters of Photography, they've already been KelbyOne members, and then they're in their third year of being in this mentoring program. Well, we created a magazine, and yesterday we launched it for the first time. And the magazine is called AURÉ, and basically it is the work of the people in that program. So the magazine is public. You can download it. I'll show you an address where you can go and download it. So there's that. And they're telling me I forgot to do something. Hold on one second. They're telling me I forgot to give you the link that you need to enter to be in the prize drawings for today. So the link is kel.by/grid prize. One word, all lowercase. kel.by/grid prize. That's it. That's where you go to enter. All right, back to our story. So anyway, we created this magazine. We launched it yesterday, and the magazine is designed to be kind of like either you're looking at a print or you're looking at something in a gallery. There's no tutorials. There's no reviews. There's no real articles. There is an interview with whoever gets the cover shot. So whoever's the cover shot for that issue, it comes out quarterly, but this year, since we launched it in July, there'll be an issue every 6 weeks. But it's really about the photography, and it's about the quality of the photography of people in this group, which is fantastic. So I'm going to take you real quickly through the magazine. I'm just going to flip through it real quick. It's not designed to be flipped through real quick. It's designed to be enjoyed like you're walking around a gallery and all. But I just want to be able to show you. I don't want to take up the whole show in it. So here, let's take a quick look. So this is the cover shot for the first issue. And then we have the standard stuff, an editor's note from me and all that. We got the contributors. And then this is the interview with the photographer, Kim Clark, who took the cover shot. And his images are in here later. But I'll just let you see some of the amazing work that's in here. And I'm going to go through it real quickly. But everyone that you see in here is in the Masters of Photography program. And a lot of these shots they've won awards with and have won competitions and stuff. Ooh, look at that one. So just great photographers, great photography. And I tried, even though it has a very fine art magazine kind of layout, I didn't want it to do what you see in a lot of fine art magazines, which is depressing people in black and white. They seem to really like people in stark situations where it looks like their apartment has never been cleaned and they look depressed and all. I wanted to go in a different way where the images are more like what we generally like to see. And nothing against those magazines. There's, of course, that there is absolutely an audience for that, but this is designed to be to a different audience. Here's Kim Clark, who had the cover shots, and that's it without all the text and stuff. But anyway, it just launched yesterday. We're very excited about it, and it's the first issue. You've already been through 80-something pages. First issue's over 100 pages, and it just celebrates the work. Sometimes we have captions, and sometimes we don't, because sometimes it just needs to be what it is, right? So anyway, we're at there's 100 pages. And there you go. So that gives you the idea. I'm going to give you the web address, or you can take a picture of the screen, and I'll give you the code. What do you call it? The QR code to grab it. Give me 1 second, and I'll have it here for you. Don't move. Don't breathe. Don't make a sound. Sorry, it's taking me longer than it should have. Let me grab it real quick here. Here's the web address. So it's bit.ly AURE VOL1, Volume 1. So it's the new launch, the new thing. Or you can use this QR code right here on screen. That will also get you there. So either the QR code or the thing. And so, guys, here's what I would ask you. This is a brand new magazine. We did a press release this morning, and it's up on some blogs and stuff. If you could just share, that would be awesome. Just tell people, hey, there's a new magazine. It's free. You can go get it. Want to see some pretty pictures and enjoy them, and in a tutorial and review free kind of way, because at this point we do a lot of tutorials, we do a lot of reviews and training and stuff, and it's like every once in a while it has to be just about the images, and that's what this magazine is about. It's just about the images and enjoying the work of some wonderful photographers. So that's the brand new magazine. We're super, super excited about it, and we hope that you will help us spread the word. So thank you in advance for everyone that'll just jump on your social or jump on Facebook or wherever and let people know, hey, new photography magazine launched. Also, if you need like links or anything or graphics, you can go to any of the KelbyOne, on social, on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram or whatever, KelbyOne Pics or whatever, and we'll be sharing it there, and we'll share the link again here in the chat. But they've already told me it's time for a break. Oh, Kim, the magazine's editor, is in the chat. She's putting all the links up right now. Perfecto. So thank you in advance for sharing that, and I'll see you in just a minute where Dixie Dixon will be joining us. Don't go away.
Think about the photos that mean the most to you. They're the ones of the people you care about. Let's make those photos come alive. Join world-class instructors who will walk you through exactly what they do on real shoots. Whether you shoot families, fashion, travel, or street photography, this online conference will make your photos better. Stop guessing and start creating portraits that make people say, wow.
My name is Sapna Reddy. I'm a nature and landscape photographer, and I'm very excited to share my very first Kelby class with you. This class is focused on shooting waterfalls. We will be covering the gear that we need to use, including different kinds of filters, shooting conditions that are ideal for waterfall photography, exposure bracketing, focus bracketing, as well as achieving the correct shutter speed for modulating the texture of the waterfall, which will make it a truly compelling image. This is a comprehensive class which will cover every step of shooting waterfalls, and at the end of it, you will be an expert. So come join me on my latest class at KelbyOne.com.
people will believe it.
All right, looks like we're back. Hey, we're back, everybody. Welcome back. And I've got Dixie Dixon on the line. So there she is. Hey, Dixie. We were
Great to see you.
we were just chatting just before because for those of you who don't know Dixie, Dixie's lives in a whole different world than the rest of you and me. I want to take a second to show you her website, and I'll tell you about the first time I met Dixie. But I'm seeing a whole different website than you're seeing. So they're showing that from the control room. Can you show my computer? Yeah, this is what I'm showing, but we'll look at them both. But it's just ridiculous. The work that you're getting to doing, the places that you're getting to go, and you're doing video, and you're directing, and you're doing all this amazing stuff. And a lot of your people, I don't know if you've noticed, are not fully dressed. So that's concerning. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, Dixie is doing, oh, there we go. I love when that happens. Dixie is just doing stuff at the highest level. And I've seen her grow and progress. And I met her in New York. Wasn't it New York? I met her for the first time in New York City. And and there was all this buzz about her at the show, and I'd never met her, and we actually kind of ran into each other just outside of Starbucks. And we met that first time, and she is just like you see her now. The big smile and the cool looking clothes and everything and all. And everywhere she goes, people, they're just laying on the floor when we go by. She cut a hole in New York that has never been filled. And now we are so lucky she's going to be teaching at the People Photography Conference, which is next week. And so that's really, really great. And we're very excited and honored to have her. Because what we're trying to do, and I think Dixie knows this, we're trying to not just be a portrait conference, right? Yeah. Because we want all these different genres, because everybody winds up shooting people, right? It's like Eric Kuna, who's my co-host on the show. Eric would never tell you he's a people photographer, but he's actually pretty good at it, and he winds up shooting a lot of people. But he doesn't. But I would think, what now? Would you consider yourself mostly a fashion photographer?
I would.
Yeah.
I would. But I still shoot. I love people. So it's just fashion photography and people are pretty much go hand in hand, because I think I focus more on the person sometimes than I do the actual fashion. So it's kind of a good combo.
Well, that is good, because, because I don't think people, when they think about fashion, they don't realize it's about the clothes.
Right.
But the way that you do it really is about the people and the clothes.
Right.
Which is that's a really unique thing, and it's a really unique way to think, because I think a lot of people think I'm a fashion photographer. My job is to make clothes look good.
Right.
You make everybody look good. It doesn't matter what they're doing. I got to get you to do my portrait one day. I need a new portrait. I've been using the same headshot that Peter Hurley took of me like 10 years ago. And I
would love to take your portrait.
I haven't aged an inch.
I would love to. That would be so amazing.
Now, will I look like these people here? Will I look like really young and I want to look like that guy right there. Yeah.
Absolutely. We can make it happen.
Yeah, I've got to build like that. You can't tell because I'm wearing a sports coat, but yeah, I could so pull that off.
You would rock it.
All right. So Dixie, tell me about the class that you're going to be doing at the People Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I'm going to give you guys the whole kind of crash course on, because I actually started out shooting portraits. And so how I got into fashion photography and how you can kind of apply those fashion concepts to your portraits, even if you don't shoot fashion photography, and how you pose your subjects, how you light them, and creating the lighting that's most flattering on your particular subject, depending on like their skin tones and texture and whatnot, and also like the gear that you need, like lens choice. And I can kind of start out super simple, and you can kind of grow your equipment as you get more experienced, I guess, in your career, but really like what to start out with and how to really amplify your portraits to give them more of that fashion editorial edge. So that's what I'm focusing on.
Ooh, that sounds good. You know, I'm gonna watch that class. I may not be able to see it live because I'm all involved in everything. But the great thing about the conference is everything's archived for a year, so I can go back and cherry pick. I so want to see that class, right? And I've seen you present before. You're always up on some big stage with all the lights on you, and I'm out in the crowd with like a small sandwich in a bag. I'm just like,
Your Starbucks.
but, right near Starbucks. I always wait. You never know who you'll meet there. It's very popular. But
I love that.
anyway, if you're not signed up for the conference, you can go to KelbyOne Live, and you can still get the early bird discount that is about to go away. So make sure you go. There are people that go and spend the full $299. Don't be one of those. Sign up now. And if you can scroll back up a little bit, you'll see all kinds of classes and all the stuff here on the website. But all right, so Dixie, if you're sitting at a bar, right, you have your drink. It's in a KelbyOne grid mug. You're sitting there at the bar, and a friend says, you know, hey, you know what? I want to take better pictures of people. Like, where should I start? What should I do? And I know I'm not talking about gear because, you know, Dixie, we love to talk about gear.
We do.
Because then you never have to talk about talent or anything. All you could just talk about f-stops, like what's the right f-stop and all. But outside of gear, which is, I know we're all gearheads, but if you had to give a friend advice, you're sitting at a bar, hey, you know, what would you recommend? What's going to help me get a better picture? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I would say a great way to start shooting portraits is utilizing something that I call garage light. And so you can pretty much shoot any time of day. You can utilize your garage. Basically, you can shoot at high noon if you want, but basically placing people right inside your garage or a building of sorts, and then just shooting in towards it. So that light is just kind of like wrap around your subject's face really beautifully. Shoot at like f1.2 if you've got that lens, or like the shallowest aperture you have, and you'll create some really beautiful portraits.
Holy cow!
The easiest way.
I've never thought of that. It's so brilliant. Oh, all right, now let me ask a question. Your subject, is the outside world behind them, or is the inside of the garage behind them?
So that is the tricky part. The inside of the garage will be behind them. So that natural light just wraps around, but you could put anything background, like any kind of interesting background. If your garage is messy, you can just place it sort of behind your subject, and like a foam core or something like that.
You're not going to believe this, Dixie, what I'm about to tell you. My garage is pristine.
Perfect.
I have a gorgeous garage. I really do. Now, I didn't have a gorgeous garage, but I was able to convince my wife to let me have one of those garage companies that comes in and makes your garage awesome. And they did. They came in, and I have the most gorgeous garage you will ever see.
Well, that's perfect.
So now I just got to find somebody to shoot. So you know what's neat? So my niece, Sarah, is a model. And she's terrific.
Perfect.
She's terrific. And sometimes I've needed like a quick shot for a book, and I'm like, hey, Sarah, can I just get a shot for my iPhone book or whatever? Hey, there it is. Like, oh, did I mention iPhone book? Whoa. All right. So anyway, now I'm going to pull the cars out of the garage, and I'm going to go. We're going to make this garage happen. That is such a great tip that I'm so embarrassed I've never thought of that. That is.
Oh, absolutely.
That was worth me coming today. Oh my gosh.
It's very accessible to anyone, because most people have a garage and most people have a camera. You don't need any extra lighting or anything like that. It's very simple way to shoot. So
as soon as you said it, I'm like, that's freaking genius. As soon as you said it, I'm like, I have a nice garage. I don't even have to clean it. It's nice.
Amazing. You can even put a cool car in there. So many things you can do.
I've got a cool car.
Perfect. What kind of car do you have?
It's a Tesla Model Y Performance.
Amazing.
I just got it 2 weeks ago. 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. It's very fast. It's got really nice wheels. It's got red brake calipers. It's a very cool car.
Oh, that's exciting.
And I don't have to get gas. Yeah, that's what I need. All right. Well, Dixie, where can people follow you? What's your Instagram?
Yeah, absolutely. Dixie Dixon wasn't available, so it's under I am Dixie Dixon.
Oh, guys, go follow her right now. Go follow her. And of course she's, oh, look at that. Look at that in the top right shot. It's so simple and wonderful. I just love it. And I love your toning. The toning is gorgeous on it. Oh, and you went to Texas and you shot a really neat, that's the best shot I've seen in front of that fake Piranha store anywhere. Wow, these are so good.
Oh,
you're killing me. Anyway, go follow her, and your website is, though, dixiedixon.com.
yes, that's correct.
All right,
That's
so
great.
go by there and enjoy that, and you'll get to see Dixie next week if you're at the thing. Dixie, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for sharing a mind-blowing. The simplicity is what's killing me. It's so perfect, but thank you. We'll see you next week, and thanks again.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's great to see you.
Same here. Oh my gosh, she is just the best. When I remember the first time I met her, I'm like, she's such a joyous person that when you have that kind of personality, it sweeps over everybody, right? I mean, she's just like you just saw her, is how every time I've ever seen her in my entire life, she's just very full of joy. And obviously, when you're a people person, it really helps you to make shots of people. And her shots, I mean, she's shooting for some of the biggest brands and stuff. I remember seeing something where she was shooting from helicopters and with helicopters as like props, and I'm like, she's like on a different level. But she is able to break things down, like just that tip we just got from her. Amazing. All right, look at that. Karen says, I cannot wait to try out the garage light. Right? It makes so much sense. Oh my gosh. Anyway, hey, they're letting me know that a lot of you are sending congratulations for the 700th episode. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the nice comments about the magazine. Outside of those folks who are in that master's program, you guys are the first people that have ever seen the magazine. So thank you very much that you're sharing that. I'm very excited about it. It's you know, I have magazine in my blood. It's how I got started in all of this. So very, very excited. Hey, let me give a couple of shout outs here. Some folks saying hi from all over. Tina saying hi from Gresham, Oregon. Lou saying hi from Wake Forest. Jack saying hi from Pasadena. Jeannie saying hello from Shreveport. Jay's saying hello from the Badlands National Park. So Jay is with Mr. Kuna out there. Dave saying hi from Cincinnati. Smokey from the Canadian Fires. Yikes. Jay Dahl is saying greetings from Utah. Chase is saying hi from Orange County, California. Larry's here from a hot Nebraska. Holly's saying hi from Silver Lake, Oregon, middle of nowhere. Susan's saying hi from a rainy Tampa. Marcus is saying hi from Braunschweig, Germany. And he says, I am watching the grid since episode 1. Congratulations. Thank you. And I believe that. I recognize Marcus's name for like 700 episodes. All right, we're going to take a short break. When I get back, I believe Joe Edelman is with us, and he's wonderful. Let's take a short one, and we'll come right back, and we'll get to talk to Joe.
Look, if you ever wanted to get into lighting and you're like, I don't know, it seems complicated, it seems hard, have I got a course for you? It's on continuous lighting. And continuous lighting today is phenomenal. The technology has changed, everything's been updated, and continuous lights are so bright, you can do so much with them, and it takes all the fear and all the doubt away. I want to take you through the whole thing from beginning to end. You're going to see every single step. And when I'm done with this class, there is no way you will not be able to make beautiful portraits using continuous light on location, anywhere you want. We're using a battery powered system. It's going to be awesome. You're going to do great with it. And it's exclusively here at KelbyOne.
Hello, my name is John Dukes, and I want to invite you to watch my KelbyOne class, Blue Hour Mastery, how to create dynamic cityscape photography. You're going to create photos that are going to impress everyone you show. People are going to get that wow effect. We're going to learn how to scout the location, what Blue Hour is, all the different levels of twilight that you could shoot your photo in, camera settings. We're going to talk about gear. We're going to talk about how to take that photo from being a snapshot to a gorgeous cityscape image that you're going to want to hang up on your wall. So come join me at KelbyOne.com. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Think about the photos that mean the most to you. They're the ones of the people you care about. Let's make those photos come alive. Join world-class instructors who will walk you through exactly what they do on real shoots. Whether you shoot families, fashion, travel, or street photography, this online conference will make your photos better. Stop guessing and start creating portraits that make people say, wow.
Hey, we are back, and I've got Joe Edelman with us. But before I bring Joe on, I want to just tell you a little bit about Joe. So I've been a fan of his for years. You know, I'm always trying to learn, you know, how to make better pictures for people. I've followed him for years, and he's terrific. His videos are great. He's on YouTube. His stuff is fantastic. But I got to see him live a few years ago at, I believe it was Imaging USA in Nashville. I had to ask him because I couldn't remember whether it was New York, but he confirmed it was in Nashville. He was on the Olympus stage doing a live demo. And, you know, when you've been doing this a while, you go through these stretches where you just don't learn anything, right? It's just part of it. You know, you get to a certain stage and you kind of plateau and you don't learn anything new, you know, and that's why I watch other people's training and I try to learn other things, but you'll go through these stretches. So I see that he's on, and I knew his videos, and I had been a fan for a while, so I thought I'm just going to sit in on his session at the Olympus thing. I cannot tell you how much I learned in that session. I was sitting out there on my phone just writing and writing and writing, like, oh my gosh, like, because he's not the same thing everybody else is doing. He's just not, you know, because there's a lot of people that are doing the same thing, and he really, really stood out to me and was talking about things and concepts and ideas that I just didn't see anybody else doing. So when we were putting this conference together, you know, Christina helps put this whole thing together. I went to Christina, I said, Christina, I've got this guy, you got to get him on board. And she was able to. And so that's how I actually met Joe for the first time. And then here he is. And oh, look how nice his setup is.
Great.
Look at your
Great
lighting.
to see you, Scott.
Even the lighting on him for video looks good. Well, Joe, I cannot.
I got to live up to what you're doing there.
Oh, I don't know. I got a mess behind me here, but but let me tell you, Joe, I'm so thrilled to have you at this conference because I cannot remember a session in the last 10 years where I learned more in a free session on the floor of a thing that I did, and it's because you teach things that you just don't hear a lot, and I love that. You're refreshing.
I appreciate that, Scott. That's I mean, that's kind of been my thing in the teaching space. There's a lot of really brilliant people. I mean, even look at the lineup you have for this conference. I'm flattered to be a part of it. So for me, it's kind of like, all right, if I'm going to open my mouth, what can I bring to the table that's going to add a little bit of value that maybe somebody else isn't going to touch on? So, you know, my talk, it's not the sexy one, but hopefully it's going to give people a lot to think about in terms of how they can really change their interaction with people to build that consistency.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good. So
that's the goal.
So Joe, I don't know if you remember, because I know you teach so much and teach so many things, but you did a thing that really caught my eye where you were talking about, it was a fashion portrait. And you showed live on stage, so he had a model with him and he had his lighting and everything, but he showed how adding these little accessories would take the whole shot to another level. And from that day forward, I started doing that exact thing. That was one of the things that was on the top of my list. And I was like, You just didn't, but it wasn't that you just said you should use these. You did a live shoot and you were showing like how you're wrapping silks and sunglasses and just all these things. And you would see it transform as I'm sitting there. I'm like, where's this guy been? Like, how does this happen? So anyway, I do want to first, I want to show him some of your work. So what's your website?
It's my name, joeedelman.com.
Wow, that's a hard one.
Yep.
All right, let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, take a look. Look at these shots. Look at the, first off, look at this one. I flippin' love this shot. Can you tell me how did you do this? Just tell how.
So that was a fun one. That's the backstory on that. You may remember a company that was around for a little while called Stella Pro. They were making some LED lights.
Yep.
They're no longer with us, unfortunately, but they asked me to create a shot for the release of a light that they were doing, and it was a rush job. They literally said, "Hey, we want to create this series, and we need you to do a video with it, and you've got 7 days." And so they pretty much gave me carte blanche to do it. So what I did in full disclosure is I stole the idea from 2 of my own pictures. One was a makeup shot that had that kind of makeup composite. The other, actually, I did a lot of pictures with fans and blowing material. So I decided I wanted to put those 2 things together. And it really was a matter of having the right model, having a makeup artist that could do some really detailed creative work. And I guess the skill on my end, if you want to call it that, was getting the material to blow the right way. We actually used 2 fans, not 1, to get the material to react properly. And the lighting, honestly, was pretty basic. It's 2 lights, 1 in the front, 1 in the back for that glow. And then just shooting a lot of images to get the material to look just right.
You know, getting the material to look just right and just to get air is hard. You know, Joe, I put together a fashion shoot once, and I wanted a really long dress with a really long train, and I got an industrial powered fan. I had to rent it for like $200. We turned it on, and it didn't move the dress. It just went like this.
Yeah.
It took 4 people, 1 on each corner of the dress, to throw it up and finally get the shot. And so there is an art to just that, just the whole thing of moving fabric.
Yeah, moving fabric, moving hair. In fact, here, I'll share you a real quick hair tip for people that like to do the blowing hair with models.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite ones because nobody thinks of this. Everybody thinks use a fan or use some, you know, yard leaf blower or whatever. No, the problem with that stuff is it's too powerful and it's too unpredictable. If you want to get the blowing hair on a model and be able to control it, go to a dollar store, and I think it costs $1.25 now or $1.50. Get a piece of white foam board, 20 inches by 30 inches. Have a friend or an assistant, or if you have a makeup artist, even better yet, have them stand just out of frame. No spray and pray. You don't have to wipe out your strobes doing it. It's 1 flip of the board, 1 fire of the camera, and you can control the direction that the hair is going to go. You can control how much it blows up just by a flip of the piece of foam board right out of frame. So much more control than a fan.
So just 1 flip?
Yeah, 1 flip, 1 shot.
Phew.
So it's literally 1, 2, 3, flip the board, hair blows up, take the picture. It actually happens in slow motion. So you're also not like, especially for somebody that's just starting out working with models and wants to get something a little more dynamic with movement, you're not trying to rush yourself and catch up and thinking, all right, I've got to get 5 frames off to catch this, because you have all the control in the world. You can even have the air come in from the side, and that way some of the hair blows under the chin, some of the hair moves off, but it doesn't come across the face. And it all happens really slow. The makeup artist or your assistant flips the board, you see the hair coming up, and you shoot at the apex, that peak moment, and you get a shot. 1 flip, 1 shot.
I don't know what to say.
It works.
How have we
Have to try it out.
We've never. We're about to now.
Yeah.
Joe, you wouldn't know this, but I work with another photographer who will help me, assist me on these shoots. His name is Dobson, And Dobson
Okay.
went for 3 months to a school to be certified to use this high-powered fan that we have. So
Really?
we not really, no, but we say that
Okay,
in the class.
All right.
Now, this is what's bad. I think you just put Dobson out of a job.
Uh-oh.
He's laughing.
Send my apologies.
Dobson, I'm sorry. You're saying that, and as you're saying it, it's like, I don't know if you got to see, Dixie Dixon was on just before you.
Yep.
And Dixie is an amazing photographer. And she gave a tip like you just gave, where she gave a tip and we're all like, you're giving this tip. I'm like, that it just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yep.
I'm going to the dollar store.
A lot of times in photography, Scott, you know this, right? Simple is better. A lot of times.
Oh yeah, I'm just.
Yep.
So can we just go take another quick look at Joe's stuff here on his site on my machine? Just switch to my browser. These are just so good. Let me go back up to the image galleries.
Yeah, do image galleries and do book one.
Wow. Hey, you know, your post is really good. Your post-production is money.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
I have to give you some credit for that. You were one of my early teachers.
Wow.
So,
well, for whatever minor impact I had, I am very delighted because this is great stuff. Your post is really, really, you know, it's not too much. It's not too little. Like you've really got that sweet spot that we all try to get to.
That's the
where,
goal.
oh
Yep.
man, that's nice. And all your skin tones look so good, you know, like, and you have nice texture and everything. And, but there's a lot of creativity here. It is great photography. It's great lighting, but there's a lot of stuff that's hard. Having those ideas, you know, like a lot of times I'll work with my wife because I know the lighting and I know all this stuff, but I'm sitting there stuck for ideas. Ideas come out of her like a Pez dispenser. She's like, what about this? Let's try this. And I'm like, you know, you obviously have that Pez dispenser in you.
It's a process, Scott. I'll tell you. I mean, people will frequently ask me, where do you get the ideas? If I'm in the right mood, I look at them straight in the face and just say drugs. And then I wait to see what they have to say. It's not drugs. I don't do drugs. Honestly, the older I get, I hate to say that word, that O word, but the older I get, the harder it is. And I've kind of made it an ongoing challenge because you get to a point where you've got a lot of like been there, done that between your ears. So for me, a lot of where I find pleasure in this whole process is going through the task of figuring out something that I've never done before or figuring out something that I've never seen done before. Like the one image you showed a moment ago, it had the orange light streaks with it.
Yeah.
That was another shot that I did on a trade show stage for Olympus. I did that out in Las Vegas. After I started shooting with the Olympus cameras, they have this feature called Live Composite, which was ultimately designed for, you know, night sky photography and doing like light trails on cars. Being a people guy, I was like, how can I use this? And played around with it for a while and then realized like, wow, I could actually use this to light paint backgrounds in real time in a shot.
So this shot I have on screen, is this the one we're talking about?
I'm not seeing it right now. I'm seeing me here. Yep, that shot right there. Yeah, so that I created that shot in Las Vegas on a trade show stage. So that's a time exposure with the lights on in the room using the live composite feature that Olympus has. And that's the kind of stuff that really gets me excited at this point is photographically, is just doing things that don't necessarily make a lot of sense. They're counterintuitive. I've never been a big trend follower. I consider trend to be kind of like a four-letter word. And part of it is because I know that if I chase a trend, I'm not going to stand out. I'm not going to be that impressive. So if there's a trend going one way, you can bet your life I'm in the other direction. Not necessarily better because I'm not that great, but I'm going to be me. I'm going to be unique. but part of that process is always pushing to look for something that's new and different.
Okay, I take issue with something you said there.
Go ahead.
You said I'm not that great. You are that great. You're absolutely.
Well,
your pictures tell the story. That's it. But
I appreciate that. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I look at my work. There's always room for improvement. I think that's a big, a big part of what
I think
keeps it going.
That's what drives us, right?
Sure.
We never think, I'm great. We always think I can do better. I know the best shots are still ahead of me. So, but I have two questions. Number one.
Yeah.
You got to tell me, what was the response to the crowd when they saw this image appear on screen, the one that you did
the light
live?
painting picture? I'm proud of the fact that that was a great response. Yes, and I think more excited than for me, I was more excited about watching the Olympus sales reps that were standing in the back of the crowd than I was the crowd. The crowd thought it was really cool, but the Olympus sales reps were all like, you could see the light bulb go off amongst all of them, and they were impressed. And in fact, Olympus started actually using some people pictures in their live composite marketing right after that. So it was it was cool that I came up with this thing that nobody had thought about.
Wow, and it's brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Couple of comments here. So Philip is saying, I subscribe my camera club email to Joe's newsletter. It's amazing. I would recommend it to anyone interested in photography in general, but camera clubs in particular. And he says, thanks, Joe. So tell us about this? Tell us about your newsletter.
So the newsletter, it's actually a fairly small newsletter as newsletters go. On my website, I have put together over years a directory of camera clubs in the United States. What I was surprised to learn when I started this, there are just over 700 camera clubs in the United States. There's a lot.
That's a lot.
And I think the camera clubs are a great way to learn photography in general and to be a part of a photography community. So I had built this directory that's on my website, and I do a lot of presenting to camera clubs. I've always made it a policy with camera clubs, no matter how big or small their budget is, I'll find a way to present for them if they'd like to have me present. So over the years, I also would hear a lot of the frustrations of camera clubs because camera clubs tend to skew a little bit older in age. Mm-hmm. And many camera clubs in the last 5 to 10 years have closed up their doors and given up. And a lot of others have kind of given up. They're still going, but they've kind of given up. They just can't seem to grow. They can't find a way to connect with younger people. So I started the newsletter really to try and get camera clubs to have a little bit more conversation. Instead of showing up every week or every month and doing the same old thing week after week or month after month, to get them to think about ways that they could not only make the camera club experience a little bit more interesting and engaging for their current older members, but also make the club a little bit more attractive to younger members, because I'm a bit of a marketing nerd. And if you read all the marketing information about Gen Z and Gen A coming along behind them, they are two generations that are primed for community. Mm-hmm. And camera clubs are perfect, but they don't feel terribly welcome in a lot of camera clubs. A lot of camera clubs are very competition focused, and that's cool if you enjoy it. But generationally, they're not big on competitions. They want experiences. They like being to get together with other people. They want to be able to go out on field trips and take pictures and do things. So I started this newsletter really just to kind of share ideas and keep the conversation going amongst camera clubs. And it's kind of taken on a little bit of a life of its own. A lot of camera club members have asked to sign up now. So I do have an open sign up page.
Yeah, and so they can go to your website to sign up?
They can go to the website to sign up. And it's really just a way of trying to, promote community. There are a lot of kind of, shall we say, subset communities. Like obviously your community is an amazing community, right? And it's taken you a lot of years and a lot of work, to build that.
Yes.
And you're also working at kind of a higher level in terms of what you offer. So there's a price tag associated, which there should be, all those things. So my hope is that these conversations keep the concept of community open at all levels, so that people have the ability, because unfortunately, when I was younger, I was kind of foolish about community. Nobody told me, hey, you should go join a camera club. And I pretty much worked by myself, put my head down. I was fortunate I found some mentors. But as I got older and stumbled on a couple good camera clubs, I realized like I'd been missing out. There was just so much to learn, even just by hanging out and talking to people, just talking shop.
Yeah.
Right. There's so much to learn. So yeah, it's just it's kind of become a little bit of a passion project that just was intended to be a directory at first, but it's taken on a life of its own, and we'll see where it goes.
Wow. Well, that's awesome that you do that. And please go make sure you sign up for that newsletter, everybody watching. Go sign up right now. Made in Forest Hills Queen says about you, I follow him. He's great. So thank you for that. Hey, I'm going to ask you one question, and I'll let you go. Thank you for giving us this extended time. So I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Dixie. So I asked Dixie, I said, Dixie, you're sitting at the bar, and a friend comes up, and they said, hey, Dixie, I asked her, what would you tell somebody that said, I want to take pictures of people. My pictures of people aren't great. What can I do? What would be a tip that you would give somebody, Joe, in that same kind of scenario? The friend walks up and says, I want to take better people pictures. Where should I start?
All right. So I heard Dixie's tip, which was an awesome tip. I love garage lighting. I'm going to go in the opposite direction and not give you a photography tip. If you want to get good at people photography, and this ties in with the presentation that I'm going to do for the conference, you need to put the camera down for a minute. Photographers tend to, if somebody says, hey, can you shoot a portrait? They're like, yeah, when do you want to do it? That's actually not the right response. The right response to that is to ask why. What do you need it for? What's the goal? So if you want to get better at people photography, put a little empathy between you and the camera and the subject. And if you've got someone that you want to photograph, start out by asking yourself, what is it about this person that I want to photograph? Why? What do I imagine? If they say, can you photograph me? Same thing. What do you need the picture for? What's it about? And really make sure that you understand the intent of the portrait or the people picture before you pick up the camera. And pay close attention to body language and that person. If they seem like they're maybe a little bit nervous about getting a picture taken, it's not their favorite thing to do. Again, don't rush the camera. Have a conversation with them. Talk to them. In fact, ironically, if you think they're a little bit nervous about being in front of the camera, ask them straight up, what do you hate most about having a picture taken? And listen and acknowledge. You don't have to convince them otherwise or anything else, but just getting somebody to say it and admit it to you and get it out there, it kind of puts it out in the open, and it takes a little bit of the stress, a little pressure off, and it makes the process going forward a whole lot easier.
Wow, what a great tip. That was perfect. And it was a great entree into what you're going to be teaching at the conference. So, Joe, first, thank you for joining us today here on The Grid. Thank you for your wonderful tips and for sharing your amazing images. But we are so honored to have you at the conference. Thank you so much. I'm personally very excited to have you there. I'm going to watch your class probably multiple times. But thank you again. Where can they follow you? Of course, your website is joeedelman.com. And you have
and
links
on
there.
Instagram, it's also Joe Edelman. Yep.
Perfect. Everybody go follow Joe, and we'll see you, Joe, and hopefully a bunch of you guys next week at the People Photography Conference. Thanks again, Joe.
Thank you, Scott. Take care.
That guy's a cool cat. Man, woo. You know what? The only thing I can't believe that we've waited this long, to work with him. He's brilliant, and I've been a fan of his for years. So it's on me. I'll take the heat, but I'm just so delighted that you guys are going to get an opportunity to learn from him at our conference. So if you haven't gone and signed up, go to KelbyOneLive.com. We'd love to have you there. You're going to have the whole thing archived for an entire year, right? And you're going to learn things at this conference you're not going to learn anywhere else. I've got a course I'm teaching. It's a pre-conference course. It's included. It's the day before, so I guess it would be next Monday. Next Monday, July 20th, I'm doing a class called What Makes a Great People Shot. It's not really about portraits because I'm talking about all kinds of different stuff. but I'm going to give you 10 different things that make a great portrait. And the first one I'm going to go through is a style sheet, because a lot of people they'll say they're this kind of photographer or that kind of photographer, and they don't really understand what those mean. So the first one of the first 10, I did a presentation like this 3 or 4 years ago, and so many people commented that the style sheet was unbelievably helpful to them. So I hope that you'll come to the conference. And of course, I'm going to pitch my class, like, come on and see my class. It's a pre-conference session. It's included in everything. It's the day before, and I think you'll learn a lot. Then the next day, I'm doing a class on natural light portraits, and we're actually going to make natural light portraits so you can see the entire thing as it happens. That's on Tuesday, first class in the morning. Get up with me. Get up early, and we'll watch it together. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Ibarionex is going to be joining us. He is fantastic, and I can't wait to see him. Super person and an amazing photographer. We'll talk to him right after this break. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Ibarionex Perello, and I'm here in downtown Los Angeles. Have you ever been out on a busy street scene? And you get out there and there's so much going on, you just don't know where to start. You get really frustrated, you make some snapshots, but they're so lackluster. Well, what I'm going to teach you are the very secrets that I use all the time to make great photographs from some of the most ordinary scenes imaginable. You'll learn in this class how, by just carefully observing and watching things sort of play out in front of you, visual miracles can happen just as a result of you just staying in place and seeing life play out in front of you. And this class is for more than just people interested in street photography. This is a way of how you see the world. So come check out my class and learn something brand new.
I'm Rick Salmon, and I'm really excited to tell you about my latest KelbyOne class. I've teamed with Chicago-based meteorologist Mike Kaplan. Why, Mike? Because great photography isn't about perfect weather. It's about understanding the weather. Mike, known by his co-workers as the Professor for his dedication to weather and science, and I kick things off by showing you why weather matters. Then we teach you how to read the sky, so you can anticipate those dramatic moments, from rainbows to auroras, before they happen. And together, Mike and I show you how to use weather conditions to create stronger and more compelling images. You'll learn how to work with fog, storms, and clouds. We also cover gear and accessories that help you capture those epic shots. And finally, we show you how to enhance your images in Photoshop and Lightroom, bringing your vision to life. So my friends, I really hope you can join us for this awesome class only on KelbyOne.
Think about the photos that mean the most to you. They're the ones of the people you care about. Let's make those photos come alive. Join world-class instructors who will walk you through exactly what they do on real shoots. Whether you shoot families, fashion, travel, or street photography, this online conference will make your photos better. Stop guessing and start creating portraits that make people say, wow.
All right. Hey, we're back. Just a couple of things. For those of you who are just like, you've never taken a portrait, you've never done a headshot or anything, and you're just kind of like, Eric Kuna's always like, oh, I don't know, I'm not a people photographer stuff. So I actually did a class for that, and it's basically about how to take your first portrait and have it be great. And I go into some things that you probably aren't going to hear other places. I went and shot it on location, and we did a live shoot, and I went through, some of the things you'll need camera-wise and accessory-wise. But let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to run that trailer for you for this class on KelbyOne, so take a look.
Okay, landscape photographers, wildlife photographers, all you guys, travel photographers. I've had so many of you come up to me and go, you know what, I stink at taking portraits. I'm not any good at them. I've never taken a good portrait. I'm not a portrait guy. Just not me. I'm not a portrait gal. Nope, not me. You know what? You're probably not until you watch this course. I'm gonna set you up for success. We're gonna stack the deck, and all of a sudden, The clouds are gonna part. You're gonna take your first portrait following everything I say in this class. You're gonna look in the back of your camera and you're gonna go, holy cow, I can do this. You're gonna become a portrait photographer when you do this, and you're gonna fall in love with the whole process because it's easy and simple. There's steps that people are leaving out and I'm putting them in. You're gonna get all of them in my brand new course. It's called Taking Your First Portrait and Knocking It Out of the Park. And it's exclusively here at KelbyOne.
So if you want, you can go watch that class. You don't have to be a KelbyOne member to watch it. You can just buy the individual class and watch that. Or, of course, we would love to have you become a KelbyOne member. And if you want to learn more about KelbyOne membership, just go to KelbyOne.com, and it's all right there. And we tell you why it's the greatest value you can get in photography training. Hey, there's some comments that from Joe's thing. If we can just, Marianne says, my club, Beaches Camera Club in Jacksonville, is growing. And because the leaders keep us up to date, we have wonderful speakers and so many outings. Our learning also happens by doing group outings that he was talking about. Cindy Jolly says, our camera club is going through that right now. Jeannie, hi, Cindy. Jeannie says, thank you for this. Our camera club, the Shreveport Photography Society, will sign up for the newsletter today. And Philip Columbus, 3054, which is actually Marianne, says, I am president of one of the clubs in Joe's directory. We're working all the time to implement new things that keep our members interested and active. He's on top of it. There you go. All right. So, all right. I am very fortunate to have sitting by. You just saw the trailer for his street photography. It's Ibarionex Perello is here. Hey, Ibarionex, how are we doing?
Hey, Scott. I hope the audio is better now.
Oh, the audio is better. We were having a connection problem earlier, but the audio is better. And good to see you, Ibarionex. I pulled up your website, if it's okay. I want to show them some of the stuff that you've done. And like your street stuff is phenomenal. It's just so good. I mean, that's why we had you do a street photography class. Like, you know, you're one of the leading street photographers out there. And I love this shot. It looks like Paris, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that shot, it looks like a scene from a movie.
Oh, thanks.
It's like, it's got a cinematic look to it, but a lot of your stuff does. A lot of your stuff looks like you were on the set, right? And look at this one with the weights and everything, and it's just, I don't know. You've really got an eye for it, and that's just such an amazing thing. I mean, you look at this shot inside the house with the dad chasing the little boy. You can take everyday things and make them so interesting. And I think that's kind of the magic of street photography, right? It's not just capturing everyday things. It's capturing everyday things and making them interesting. And you really have a gift for that.
Yeah, it's really about it's the art of paying attention. It's about, you know, being present enough in the moment to be able to bear witness to it, whether it's happening on a busy city street in, you know, in New York or in Paris, or whether it's, you know, your own backyard. Photography allows you this remarkable ability to encapsulate life as it's playing out in front of you within the context of the frame. And the only real way to do that effectively is to be just completely in the moment, being present, so that you can do that, pay the sort of a hyper attention to everything that's within the frame, so that you can make an effective photograph rather than just pressing the button, crossing your fingers, and hoping that something turns out.
That's funny, because that was the question I was going to ask you, is how do you develop that skill? Because I don't have that skill. Nobody ever calls me a street photographer, because I come back with the same shots everybody else comes back with, which are just, that's a person reading. That's somebody on their phone. Look, it's somebody looking out a bus window. Ibarionex, if I see that person looking out the bus window shot again, I don't know what it is. You know, in landscape photography, it's the dead tree stump. Somebody always shoots the dead tree stump. In street photography, it's always somebody looking bored, looking out a window. But I guess what you just kind of answered it is that hyper being in the moment, that, you know, really looking at what's happening. And I don't think I ever get into that zone. And you live there.
Well, I think the thing that happens when it comes to street photography, when people start doing street photography, is that they forget everything that they ever learned about making a good photograph, because they get fixated with what they think street photography is. They get anxiety and fear, particularly if they're photographing a stranger, and they just anxiously press the shutter release button, hoping that something turns out. And everything that anyone has ever learned about making a good photograph still applies. It's about paying attention to light and shadow, line and shape, color, gesture. And if you're paying attention to that, even though you're out in the street in public, and you build your frame out of that, and not be so fixated on the person, then you can include the person as, just say, a flourish, as a sort of a graphic element that complements the scene that you've already built. I often, when I teach my workshops, on the first day, I tell people, I don't want you to be focused on photographing people. I want you to photograph scenes. I want you to make a good photograph of a place that could be improved if we did include somebody in the frame. And it takes the edge and the pressure off trying to make a great street photograph that includes 1, 2, 3, people. It allows people to sort of build on their strengths they already inherently have as photographers, but that go out the window because they just feel anxious about photographing a stranger.
And this is why you are the king. Because, this is gold, guys. I hope you're taking notes. This is absolutely gold, because so much of, it's very frustrating. Once a month we have people send in images for blind critiques here on the grid. And so much of what we see in street is so disappointing. And it is kind of what you said. They're taking what they think a street photography or photo should be, but they wind up coming back with something that has no soul. It just looks like literally what you said. They're just pointing and shooting at stuff. They're not capturing moments. They're not slowing down. Look at this guy here. I don't know if you can see the screen right now, but you've got a guy outside. It looks like a restaurant. And he's got an interesting gesture. There's a cup of coffee in the perfect, absolute place. The whole scene, it looks like a lot of this stuff looks like, we know they're not staged, but they look like scenes from a movie or a documentary. And I love it. You've got such a great style. I've been a fan of yours forever. And these are just terrific.
So much of my photography is about finding a scene or finding a place that has potential. It's a street corner. There's some interesting light play. There's some interesting line or gesture. The person who I eventually end up photographing hasn't even arrived yet. But I'll look at the scene and I'll go, oh, wow, there's got really interesting line and shape here. There's this great light happening here. And then I'll just see how people are moving through the scene, and I'll parse it and figure out my frame, my composition. And then after I've done that, that's like 95% of the work.
Wow. That's like what Jay Maisel says. Jay Maisel has a famous saying that he says, you find the stage and the players will come.
Exactly.
He's like, it's just what you just said. You find a great place, whether it's, compositionally or lighting wise or whatever. And I love that line where you said, the person I'm going to photograph, they're not even there yet. That's brilliant. Guys, I hope you're taking notes. This is great stuff. Hey, tell me about the class you're going to teach at the conference.
Well, we just went over it. It really is about whether it's candid photography of the type that we've just described, or whether it's street portraiture. I'm building on the same principle in terms of what besides the subject do you have to work with? What's in the background? What's the light like? How much do you want the surroundings complement what's happening with your subject? Because I think that a lot of people become completely oblivious to that when they're photographing people, either candidly or in a portrait. One of the things that people do with a street portrait is they either go really tight on the face, so they just produce headshots of people, which really relies on them being a really interesting character and having a great face, and that's appropriate sometimes. But after a while, they all start to look the same. But if you're looking at the scene, if you're looking at wherever you are, whether city or town location you're at, and you're paying attention to the light, to the shadow, And as Dixie just pointed out, looking for that garage light. If you can find a great place to position your subject after you've asked them and they've said okay, don't hesitate to move them into that sweet area where the light is better and make the portrait there, and be conscious of, well, what's behind them, what's in front of them, and take advantage of it rather than just simply making a shot where you found them, because usually, more often than not, it's the worst place to photograph them because the light sucks or there's a bunch of distracting elements in the background. So be aware of everything else that you have to play with before you press the button for the first time.
Wow. Hey, can I show you this picture?
Sure.
I love this one. This is on your site. And I mean, there's a little luck involved that he's wearing pink pants. And there's that the portrait behind him on the painting on the wall. But there's so much amazing, great stuff going on in here. It's everything that you just talked about. It's the gesture. It's the color. Look at the light. Look at the shadows, the way that all the signs are casting shadows. And he's in the perfect position. I mean, I think this is just a phenomenal shot.
Yeah, I made that shot in South Africa, and I saw that light first. I saw the way that the light cut through the street and illuminated the sign and the drawing, that the graffiti that was on the wall. And so I looked at it, composed the frame, and no sooner had I composed the frame that the kid came in. And I had already figured out where I needed somebody to be within the frame. I already knew that spot was the sweet spot in terms of where I needed a figure to walk into. And, the photo gods blessed me by giving me a kid who not only had colors that complemented everything that was around them, but I got them in a great moment where the gesture, the splay of the legs, the way that the arms are extended, and I managed to time it just right so that his hand doesn't go into the shadow from the stop sign. And it's just the best spot, because a couple of seconds before or after, the shot would not have worked.
Exactly.
But I had time to kind of read the scene, figure out the composition. All I had to do was just wait for somebody. And oftentimes there are a variety of different people that walk through the scene that don't work. But I just trust that if I stick around long enough, I'll get somebody who will complement the scene well enough to make a good shot. And in this particular case, it was perfect.
Wow. I think that's such a strong shot. And that's, we talk about, Eric and I talk a lot about the shot, on the show here. We talk about people are kind of waiting for a good shot to fall in their lap. You're making good shots happen. You go, this is the scene, that's the light, and I'm going to be patient and I'm going to wait until and like you said, people walk in, you're like, that's not the one. Oop, that's not the one. Oop, that's not the one. That's the one. And it's like you have to work. It doesn't fall in your lap. It doesn't come and find you often.
Yeah, and so photographers are very impatient. They'll take one shot, they'll chimp on the screen and go, oh, this sucks, and then they'll move on. I'm like, if something drew you into the scene, then you work it until the light changes or something changes that the potential of the shot is gone. And I've stood at spots for 20, 30 minutes, working it, because I'm not under the illusion that, oh, there's something better around the corner. That one spot, that one moment, that one scene may be the best thing I find that day. So I need to work it as much as I can, before I move on to something else.
Wow. Hey, there's some comments coming in. The first one is from Karen Grillian. She says, amazing street photographer. This class will be epic. Now, you don't realize what a compliment that is, because Karen Grillian, I know Karen. Karen is a phenomenal award-winning photographer in her own right. She is terrific. And for her to say that, she doesn't throw out compliments like that unless she means it. So that's quite a compliment. Lupus says, beautiful black and white street photography. Jason says, yes, go study art history. All the same principles apply to photography. Wow. All right. So, Ibarionex, I have one more question for you, if you don't mind. I know I've kept you here a while, but I got carried away with some of your photos. But so you're sitting at the bar, and I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Joe and Dixie. And someone comes up and says, you know, what do I need to do to make better pictures of people? I've taken a couple shots. I'm not really crazy about them. What advice would you give a friend who's just like, how do I make better pictures of people?
Get over your anxiety of photographing people. And one of the best ways of getting over that anxiety is, and this is something that I did for myself, I quickly discovered that when I had an anxiety of photographing strangers, I realized that my fear largely was about the approach, about going up to someone and saying, hey, I find you interesting, can I make your picture? And often that anxiety is what deterred me from approaching someone. And then one day, I gave a woman a compliment about something, it was her hat or her blouse, and I saw how much she reacted to the compliment. And then I went, I gave myself a self-assignment to give a compliment to a stranger every day for 30 days. Not ask for a photograph, just go up and give them a compliment. And I realized that the compliment was a way of introducing myself, establishing why I'm interested in someone, and usually, most often than not, people were very flattered. And it was easier to ask them after I did that, can I make your photograph? Because at that point, I was developing a rapport.
Yeah.
I was making a connection rather than this feeling like I'm taking something from someone. I'm saying, I find you interesting. This is why I find you interesting. And I really would be honored to make a portrait of you. And I think that if you just do the compliment thing for a month, you'll realize how easy it is to approach someone without the burden of worrying about whether or not they're going to say no to a photograph.
Wow. That's great advice. What a great answer. All right. Well, Ibarionex, thank you so much. People can find you. Your website is just your name, right? Ibarionex.
Ibarionex.net, or they can go to candidframe.com, or just follow me on Instagram, which is probably more up to date in terms of the photography that I've been doing for the last, several years.
Definitely go follow him on Instagram right now. Look at this. What an interesting feed. Ibarionex, thank you so much, first for taking the time to be with us today, and also for being at the conference. I'm going to go watch your class. When this conference is over, we can stream the whole thing for a year. I'm going to be watching so many classes. I'm so interested, of course, in photographing people, and just some of the stuff that you shared today is absolutely fantastic. Your class, I think, is on Wednesday afternoon. So if I don't catch it live, I'll absolutely be watching the replays, because what I've just learned here today has just been fantastic. And I hope that you guys watching realize you're getting the tip of the iceberg from wonderful guests that we've had today. So thank you so much, Ibarionex. Always great seeing you. And thank you so much for sharing those wonderful insights today. Wow. So great. All right. Well, wow, we had some phenomenal guests today. That was so great. I can't believe how much I learned. I love it. I'm like this today. I'm excited. Hey, we have some prize winners. Hopefully some of these folks are going to be excited. The Platypug Max Deluxe set goes to Debbie Carnes. My Natural Light book is going to Jenny Lambert. The iPhone photography book is going to Holly Monahan. The On One No Noise is going to JP in the house. And I know JP, obviously. And let's see. We had one more book we were giving away. We don't have a winner for it, and it was Kuna's night photography book. So let's see if we can get a winner for that. In the meantime, go to KelbyOneLive.com. We would love to have you at the conference next week. It's going to be wonderful, and don't forget, you get to watch everything. You go, the pre-conference is included, no extra charge. The stuff that happens on the day before is included. So it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing. Think about the last time you invested in yourself. This is an opportunity to invest in education, to invest in yourself. If you're not a people photographer, but you want to learn all the other stuff, go over to KelbyOne.com. We have a lot of emphasis on the post-processing, I will tell you up front. A lot of Lightroom, a lot of Photoshop, but a ton of camera stuff and photography stuff as well. We obviously host these conferences and all that stuff. Hey, the night photography book is going to Breck Jones. So congratulations to all of you. We've got your information. We'll send it all out to you. And hopefully next week, Mr. Kuno will be back next Thursday for episode 701. Thank you guys for joining us today. We really appreciate you. Thanks to my crew here, to all of our sponsors. We'll see you next Thursday right here on The Grid. Take care, everybody.
Think about the photos that mean the most to you. They're the ones of the people you care about. Let's make those photos come alive. Join world-class instructors who will walk you through exactly what they do on real shoots. Whether you shoot families, fashion, travel, or street photography, this online conference will make your photos better. Stop guessing and start creating portraits that make people say, wow.